The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's happening, Octo family? We're going to take a look at a kind of a weird one, weird play, maybe let's call it a penny stock, but it's one of those companies that's kind of got a shell over some others. They got their hands in a lot of little things. It's kind of cool. It seemed scammy, and I could not figure it out at first until I started reading more and more. It seems legit as one of these are going to get. You know, this is not just like one company that's like trying to do something. This is a weird investor type of shell situation. I still don't totally understand this one from the ground up. But regardless, I want to get the information out there because I'm getting a couple people requesting that we take a look at ALPP, spaceships. That's why I finally decided to look in, because they finally scratched something with what I thought was spaceships. I'm not sure that it is. We'll find out. Synergy, innovation, drive excellence. Mr. TMD2288 wrote on Twitter and said, hey, they just acquired Impossible Aerospace. That's why I was like, oh, sweet, let me check that out. Which comes with Spencer Gore from Tesla, NASA, and SpaceX. They got military contracts for their drones. They just signed with the Air Force for $1.5 million. They also got head of Sachs, Goldman Sachs Inc., I believe, Sachs. The guy behind Ancestry. Take a hard look. Maybe Ancestry.com or something. I'm not sure. So who are these guys? At Alpine 4, we believe that synergistic innovation drives excellence. Alpine 4 Technologies, ALPP ticker, is a publicly traded enterprise with businesses related endeavors in software. They've got software, automotive technologies, cool, electronics manufacturing, all right, and energy services and fabrication technologies. All right. However, Alpine's 4 acquisition model is industry agnostic and is based around our driver stabilizer facilitator business model. Whoa. 4 principles at the core of our business are synergy, innovation, blah, 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 capabilities. Yep. So, enterprise operating systems. So they've got an operating system for big businesses is what this thing is. They're called Spectrumebus. Something I thought was cool is it said blockchain ledger systems. So you've got the whole blockchain thing, right? Let's just call it digital security, right? Quality circuit assembly. So they build like circuits and motherboards and transfer thingies and fuse thingies, and okay, that's cool. So they do software, they build hardware. Got this thing called Altia. It's an automotive technology company with products in the connected car and vehicle safety markets. Their 6 Sense Auto Connect car solution is a combination of our unique cutting-edge telematics hardware solution tethered to a robust and innovative SaaS platform. So it's kind of middleman for electronic-y, small metal-y things. Because then they got this, American Precision Fabricator. Since 1996, it's been supplying American-built parts to businesses around the world when it comes to restoring, rebuilding, restructuring APF of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Does it all and strives to provide excellent customer service in such a demanding industry. An impressive imperative that the correct parts show up on time. They're on it. I don't know what APF is. Anyone? Is that a Air Force something? Plane fort? The restructuring and rebuilding of the Fort Smith. I know Fort Smith is, a fort in Arkansas. Resurfacing it though, I don't know, metal and stuff. It's kind of cool, right? But it's kind of all over the place. That's the other thing that's hurting it. Sometimes it's better just focus on one thing than a billion, but let's keep on diving in. Alpine 4 Technologies and Impossible Aerospace Corporation announced that it has completed the final milestone of their $1.5 million U.S. Air Force contract. So this is legit, and this is really cool. So getting them government contracts, they get this one here, they're probably going to get a lot more. They go into more detail here. You can come read about it if you want. on their Twitter, they put the US won is the first major breakthrough in drone performance since the introduction of the quadcopter. So this is like a drone. But look how crazy this thing looks. More importantly, is the first battery electric aircraft to rival the performance of a conventionally powered system. So they're super on it. They're super sweet too.
Safety missions don't follow a script. When things change, you have to adapt and respond. Your eyes in the sky need to stay on scene as long as you do.
So if you can see right there, what do they got going on? So how they're pitching these to people is for big government contracts, but then police, firefighters, stuff like that. What they're showing here is it looks like a SWAT raid. Oops.
The US-1 is a hot...
It looked like a SWAT raid, right? So, you know, say you're going to go do a SWAT team thing, you could fly up one of these things above it to get a bird's eye view. So you could have the commander or whatever, chief, sitting there looking at it from the sky, which is pretty darn cool. Because then if the people run, you can already be on top of it. So it makes a lot more sense to like bust one of these out of your trunk and have a dude manning one of these than get a helicopter every time you're going to do one of these raids, or get a domestic dispute thing. Like maybe every time there's a domestic dispute, they could have a guy show up for the drone and come and fly over just in case somebody runs. You know, they don't have to call them the helicopter. Ghetto bird. You know, ghetto birds are super expensive. I think they cost like $5,000 plus just to get it up in there. The second it leaves the ground, 5Gs. You know, it could eventually save them a lot of money. I'm sure these things aren't cheap. They're pretty cool, but you know, they're not going to be cheap. They look like real expensive drones. Even the switch is all carbon fiber and all that. It comes with like basically an iPad holder on top of it. It's pretty neat. But and you can check it out remotely. You can even set like, this is kind of cool. You can set a block, so you can like draw in a block and say just circle this block. So you can throw it up in there, circle that block. We're gonna go in. And they can reference that block or follow target, like weird, cool stuff. So they're legit, and it's going after the big money of it. You've also got the night vision stuff going on. Pretty neat. Moving on, XL Fabrication, another thing they're involved with, subsidiary of ALPP, is now a supplier for Varco Prudent Buildings Inc. Swelling bid work in excess of $100 million contract. Metal building solutions and steel building construction is who they are, right? So there's a lot of money in metal. Does anyone know somebody who's in the metal business? I do. He drives a Saleen S7. He used to. Does anyone know what a Saleen S7 is? There's a lot of money in sheet metal. $100 million contract for some metal for this company. You know, it's cool because they can pull money from a lot of different things. It seems like they're on track. And then I was checking out their teams. They kind of sound like they're on track too. Seem kind of legit. What's going on? It's an OTC ticker though. Not very good. The performance just is kind of funky though. This is something else though. Spencer Gore, Impossible Aerospace. Spencer Gore's startup has developed methods to package convenient lithium-ion battery cells as structural elements of an electric aircraft, allowing more battery to be crammed in an equivalent weight. In September, the Airbus-backed company, by the way, Airbus is backing it, unveiled a drone it claims has a record of 2-hour flight time. Next up, larger aircraft. That's got me buzzing a little bit. Are we talking like personal, like we can drive it? Who wouldn't want to drive an electric plane? Maybe just a little bit bigger drones, but they said aircraft. I don't know, but that's next up. That could be super neat. What do y'all think about that? What do you think of this company? It seems kind of offbeat a little bit. It's kind of cool. It's starting to trend with the penny bros, which is a good and a bad thing. Why? Because they're going to buy it, raise it up, but then they're also going to sell it. So if you do play this, might recommend putting in something to safeguard yourself. But I mean, here's the problem too. Since November, make sure y'all can see this. Since November 20th, this thing has gone from 5 cents all the way up to 45, 50 cents. These people have 10x already. That's a big run. Big run could be big fall, right? I'm going to put this one in the lottery scratcher territory. Long term, this could be one of those ones, though. I mean, what wasn't Workhorse like 60 cents a year ago? These guys got a pretty big contract with metal, and then they got those drone things. That's pretty sweet. It's one of those ones, put in a lottery ticket, maybe hold it for a couple years, and then look at it. I wouldn't be trying to swing this too much unless you become a master at it, but it's still a low floater. That's a big run, right? 10x in a month, 10x in less than a month, something like that. I don't know. Anyone ride this? Anyone been riding this for a long time or know a bunch of information that I don't know yet? Put it down in the comments. Let us know. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. I also have a Patreon where I slide y'all deals and let you know about videos I'm going to do usually before I do them. But plays, I've been hitting a lot, hitting new plays almost at least once a day. So please join that community if you wouldn't mind. It definitely helps support the channel. Y'all take care and have a good day.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.